Welcome to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Touchdown, Braylon Edwards.
Braylon Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Running pattern to Edwards, touchdown, Michigan.
Where we bring you the best in sports, entertainment, and insight. Join us every weekday from 2 to 4 p.m. as we break down the latest games, analyze the biggest plays, and dive into the hottest topics in sports. We'll have exclusive interviews with your favorite athletes and guests, and you'll get a front row seat to all the action. So tune in to the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep.
Got one-on-one going end zone. Edwards in the air. Oh, what a catch by Braylon Edwards. His second touchdown of the game.
On the Woodward Sports Network, where sports comes to life.
Sometimes these days can be a little challenging.
Shep came back, y'all.
Just because it's so beautiful.
We're sorry, Shep.
Sorry for what?
They believe Anson and I ran you away.
Oh, no, I had to leave early for an event, a community event downtown with some lovely young ladies who were learning the game of basketball a little bit more. So it was pretty awesome. Couldn't wait to get the hell out of here, though. I'm not going to admit. I will say this. Yesterday we were talking about leftovers a little bit. Remember? Yeah, ironically enough, I get home. My wife was cooking a turkey for me.
Oh, so you've been eating turkey today?
So it was turkey, it was mashed potatoes, it was gravy. She made almost like a Thanksgiving meal for me last night. And I was like, wow, this is awesome. And I told her about our conversation, and she said, oh boy, well, you don't eat leftovers unless it's
Thanksgiving.
Turkey.
And you did mention that yesterday.
Yeah.
You did.
So what are you eating today?
Well, since I'm going to the game tonight, I am not going to have turkeys for dinner. But what I am going to have, I'm going to have turkey sandwiches tomorrow. For
One
sure.
of the best media dining experiences, though.
Well, yeah, I'm not going in that regard.
Did you already have a turkey sandwich today
No,
for
I
lunch?
didn't. Nope.
But you're going to go 2 days?
I'm going to go 2 days. I know that seems.
You said
odd.
that was a no-no.
It's usually a no-no, but I'm willing to, wait and starve myself a little bit just so I can have the open face hot turkey sandwich. That's what I'll be having.
I had some
tomorrow.
turkey today, courtesy of Ground Turkey Cam.
Hillshire Farms.
This guy right here. I talk about it often. The first week Cam was here, he's walking in the back offices. Well, I'll just say it's 18 inches now because it grows every story.
Wait,
But
what?
my man is just
What are we talking
bare
about?
fisting.
That is That's a drop, by the way.
Bare fisting a sweet potato, a big sweet potato, still with the skin on it.
Oh, you
Horseradish,
like yams?
All the
mustard.
nutrients.
Just,
Give me all the
Wait, Cam, you a yams man?
bro, listen,
I don't
every day that he
discriminate.
brings
Come
in,
on.
it
I
is
hear
fully
you, though.
raw camp. Because, everything that he brings in, nothing's processed, nothing's bull. It's all just healthy food. Today he had this massive Tupperware with some jalapenos, some onions. I know you love onions, Shep.
Oh, yeah.
Ground turkey.
Ground turkey. At
Ground turkey
ground
chili is
at
elite.
room temperature.
Wow.
And he's like, "Do you want some?" I was like, "No, I'm good." He insisted. I nuked it. I like nuked food.
You did indulge.
I did. It was damn good, Shep.
So he's a cook.
He is.
Oh, yeah.
He's
What's
like
the-
an old school cook.
What's the best thing you cook? Don't say eggs. If you say eggs, you're
what,
gone.
what are those things that you put in a tray?
Slop?
I can't
Ramen
think of it.
noodles? No.
I can't think of what you call it.
Charcuterie board.
No, you put it in a tray, you put it in the oven, and
That's chopping something up.
Nachos.
That's cutting something up. Nachos doesn't count.
I will say this: I make the best bagel egg sandwich in the world. You said not to say eggs, though.
I would challenge you on that. And
I'm
by the
pretty
way,
damn
we
good.
can both admit that's not very challenging.
Oh no, it's not.
You know.
But I don't put milk in. I don't whip it up. I do what they call Canadian scrambled eggs.
Which
familiar
is
with that?
no, I'm not.
You just put the egg in there and you just keep moving it around.
Yeah.
No whipping beforehand.
Almost
no
like a tornado.
I don't-
Just
well,
stirring
no.
it?
My issue with scrambled eggs is they whip them, they add milk, and they turn out that fluffy kind of styrofoam like McDonald's or the buffet type of egg. If you just move it around in its own stuff, you add nothing to it.
So I,
Canadian
a
style.
friend of mine, my wife and I went and stayed with them. They live just outside Chicago, and he was making scrambled eggs, and he cracked the eggs in the pan and then whipped it up.
That's what I'm talking about. That's Canadian style.
Okay, because I take them, crack them in a bowl or a glass,
Whip 'em.
and whip them, I don't add milk.
Try
And then I
it
do
without whipping them first. Just try it. Put it right into the pan. Just mix them until they're ready. Don't whip them.
What's the
beforehand.
difference?
It doesn't have that fluffy kind of styrofoam texture, and I think
Yeah,
the
it's not as
flavor's better.
aerated.
I think the milk makes it the styrofoam texture.
The milk as well as the whipping.
Okay.
Both of them do, but the milk will make it even more so.
All right. Well, I'll do that. When I make the egg and cheese and bacon sandwiches, I don't have scrambled eggs. I use a fried egg. So and then melt
I've
the
never
cheese.
fried an egg.
And then come on.
I've never fried an egg.
That's
Fried egg
impossible.
I don't even
sandwich
know. I
is
don't even know how
elite.
you do it. What do you just crack it in some boiling oil?
Yeah, you just
a little bit
warm
of
up
oil
a
in the
pan, a little bit
bottom
of
of the
oil or butter.
I've eaten
and,
them.
and
The butter.
and you crack
Real
the
butter.
egg there. And if you want it over hard, no pun intended, you crack the yolk and then you flip it. Okay, and that's where you lay the cheese. If you want it over easy, then you don't easy back in the room back there, and you just kind of let it slosh around a little bit. Over medium, maybe flip it just real quick and then bring it back.
I was thinking about this recently.
That's
To
what
me,
you're
like,
talking
if,
about.
I feel like if you crack a
Right? That's how you do it.
if you just crack an egg in oil, I would just feel like it would just disperse everywhere. It stays together, huh?
No, yeah.
It does.
My family.
Don't cook it too high.
My mom didn't let us have the sugar, cereals or everything. Everything was healthy. We didn't fry anything. I never was in a house where chicken was fried until I was in my late 20s and one of my roommates was frying chicken. I was like, what the hell is that smelling?
But if
here?
you're making scrambled eggs, that's fried. You're frying it in a pan, right?
frying
yeah,
an
so,
egg.
well, I'm thinking
versus
like you
like
put
the
it in
deep
oil.
fry?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I'm we never
Well,
cooked with oil.
what's the base of the pan when you make your scrambled eggs?
I don't put anything.
You just put it in the pan.
I mean, I might put a little bit of butter in, but
I would think that would burn them.
you got to constantly
Depends on
move it. You're constantly moving. You don't let it set.
Yeah. I can't do that because I got to be making a lot of other stuff. Got to make the toast over here. Got to bring the cheese out. Got to make the smoothie over here. That's kind of what I'm doing. Kool-Aid, what's the best thing you make?
You know what?
Of course, I said don't make eggs. Don't say eggs. And he mentions eggs.
No, you know what? Smoked turkey greens. That's what I love. Smoked turkey greens. Yeah.
Explain.
Yeah, whether it's collards, kale, sometimes a mix.
Okay, so how do you do it? How do you make it?
Wifey and I will go to sometimes we can get downtown, but Walmart to me got some of the best smoked turkey legs.
Okay.
I put her on to this. I made her hip to this.
All right.
She loves it. Take that home, and the way that we prepare the greens, I don't go the crock pot route. My pops and my mom, she's from South Carolina. You get a big old pot.
Okay.
You start everything, and you make sure that your pot liquor is right. You got to have the pot liquor right. All of the juices in there, all the different seasonings. Can't give away the family secret. But you simmer your greens because you don't want to destroy them. You don't want to nuke them. You just simmer them for a little bit just to make sure they can get kind of soft. They can go down, add some more greens. And then when you start to turn up the heat, that's when you take your turkey legs and you start to add them into this kind of deep pot that you have with the greens all around them.
So the
it's
turkey
just
leg goes
cooking
all
throughout.
in, just one turkey leg. You don't
no,
cut
we
it
get
up.
multiple turkey legs down in there. But yep,
But you don't cut them up. You don't shave them off.
Oh no, that ruins the fun.
Okay, so
yeah,
you just
gotta
plop
take
in.
it later and
You
watch it
plop
fall
in the
off
turkey
bone.
legs while you turn up the heat.
Oh
Yep.
my goodness.
Okay. And how long is it there? And then does it have
Oh,
the turkey?
it's overnight. This is something
it's
where it's
overnight.
low to medium heat overnight.
Simmer.
If you do it right, you're doing this probably for more than 24
So
hours.
this is a
but if you're trying to
process.
just get it, it's a process.
24 hours to make greens?
On the low to medium heat with the turkey in there to get that right flavor and that tender kind of fall off the bone. Turkey, where when you put your fork through it, whew, it's like just right. Yeah.
So the turkey taste is in the greens as well.
throughout.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, you
Yes.
better be
Smoked
careful.
turkey.
We don't want you to burn your house down.
Are you a soul food guy?
You know who you're talking about.
But listen though.
I mean, what do you consider soul food? What's soul food? I've heard people say mac and cheese. Mac and cheese is
it's
not
a
soul
different
food.
mac and
I
cheese.
eat mac and
it's
cheese for a long time.
vastly different mac and cheese.
I've
You're
eat-
talking cornbread. You're talking greens.
I
you're
love
talking
cornbread.
all
Love
kinds
mac
of
and
different
cheese.
pig products.
That's another one.
Yeah, I
That was
love mac and cheese. I love cornbread.
Honestly,
Greens, no.
Soul food is as comfort food as it gets.
Yeah.
Honestly, you should try some spots because we have some of the best soul food around.
I
And real
look.
quick,
Braylon gave me some greens one time, and I ate it,
they're fantastic.
but I didn't like it.
By the way, I thought of that word. It's casserole. Make mean casseroles.
Yeah. Okay.
Couldn't think of the word.
Yeah.
I'm excited to hear Cam's answer here.
Well, his is all raw vegetables. He just goes around
Fully
biting.
raw Cam.
No, I got you on chicken enchilada verde,
Hey,
Oh, yeah.
break
which
it
is
down.
casserole-like, but very
Yeah.
comfort. It's got to be cold. It's got to be dark out.
When
That's
will you
more a
bring that in?
seasonal dish.
When will you? When will you?
Right?
'Cause that sounds pretty damn good. That sounds
It is.
really good.
He's not. It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
We need an
No.
answer.
No, yeah,
Yeah,
my,
but-
no,
oh,
me
y'all are
saying it is not a
joking.
joke.
Yeah.
When are you going to bring those in?
For real.
Shep needs that.
Well,
That sounds. Does that not sound good?
Yeah, it does.
So you bring in one day, you bring in your casserole,
can
which
do
depends on what
that.
the casserole is. How about a turkey casserole? That'd be really good. And Kool-Aid can bring in some turkey greens.
I will mess around and do a tuna casserole and just chase everybody out of the house. Those things stink when they're
They
making,
do
man.
stink. You're right. Even though I don't mind them, but they
Okay.
do stink. Yeah.
Turkey it is, pal.
Turkey it is. Okay.
I was gonna say, any of you guys ever did pho soup, the
Pho?
Vietnamese soup?
Oh, yeah.
Pho?
Yep.
I know
Yeah.
you eating it steady.
And I was gonna say one day I'm gonna make sure that I bring some in for the people,
And
as
that's what
well
most
as the
people
greens.
think is
a little bit
called-
of Asian, a little bit of soul food. We got a little fusion going on over at our
It's
house.
not pho.
Hey.
It's pho.
Pho. Yes, that is the
Vietnamese
correct
specialty.
pronunciation.
I can't say that I've ever
correct.
heard of it, but it's interesting. Chicken
It's
noodle,
noodle soup,
vegetable beef.
basically,
That's
yeah.
more me.
Yeah.
Chili. That's more me.
Look, you got the meatballs, you got the beef slice, you got the beef brisket with rice noodles.
It's literally
It's
every
fire.
other restaurant
sounds
in
awesome.
San Francisco.
I got you, bro.
It is. It's
It
great.
is.
Wait, one more time. Meatballs?
Yes,
Brisket?
I get it with meatball, brisket, and beef slice.
Dude,
Oh yeah,
that is, in your words, fire.
it's fire. It's fire, Shep.
You've been holding out on me.
I try to keep it on my side of the world, but now I'm like, you know what? I gotta share it with everybody.
That's good stuff,
Got to.
man. That's really good. Now that I think I would enjoy.
There you go.
Yeah, that sounds like a hearty meal, doesn't it?
it does.
Hearty meal. All right. We've got, a little bit more than 24 hours from the NFL draft. Well played. Pick the player for the Lions, and we want you in the chat. Smash the like button, but also put it in there. We want the player in day 1, day 2, and day 3. Now, we know they have 9 selections. We don't need 9 selections. But please, make them realistic picks. Please don't tell us, I want David Bailey. He will not be there, even though I would love him, right? But David Bailey is not going to be there. David Bailey is going to go 2nd overall. He's going to be a top 5 pick, okay? So it's got to be realistic. Who is it you want the Lions to take in day 1, which is round 1, day 2, which is round 2 and 3, and they don't have a 3rd round pick, and day 3, which is 4 through 7. So let us know in the chat, and we will go around the horn here, no pun intended, to an old terrible ESPN TV show of what you will do. So, but I want an explanation if possible. Okay, if we can do more than just here's a name, what is the name and why? Because it has to serve as a really good player, and it has to serve a need. You can combine the two. So we're going to do that when we come back. Just a quick break here on the Braylon Edwards Show on Woodward Sports. And a reminder, speaking of the draft, we've got you covered tomorrow. I hope you know this by now.
Oh, yeah.
But we've got the big-time draft show tomorrow, and we've got it at Massage Chair House.
The only place to be.
In Bloomfield Hills, all right? Round 1, draft party. Listen, there's a lot of people at this network who wanted every single round. So Anson had to reel them in and say, come on, man, let's be real here. Everybody is fired up for the weekend. So we want you to tune in to the live broadcast, the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest. We're going to bring you wall-to-wall first-round coverage of the NFL draft, and your favorite Woodward sports personalities will be out there, we think. The Massage Chair Warehouse right there in Bloomfield Hills at the draft party. What time does it get going tomorrow on the 23rd? Is it
8. 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. So it gets going at 8 o'clock right when the draft gets going, but you can get there earlier and,
Oh, yeah.
kibitz and elbow with people like Sean Baligian as he takes another dip and spits into a bottle.
No justice for Baligian, but there's justice for you. All you got to do is get in touch with Venn Johnson Law. Whether it's insurance companies, your landlord, there's all kinds of people trying to take advantage of you. You need a fighter in your corner. You need justice. You need Venn Johnson. Check them out at VennFights.com.
Hey, I know we've asked you to come out to the Massage Chair House tomorrow, but if you can't make it, then get to your nearest Art and Jake's because they're going to have the draft on. They're going to have a lot of different sports on television for you. The draft will dominate, but you've got some NBA playoff games. You've got some Stanley Cup Finals games. I believe the Tigers are on in the afternoon, so hit to Art and Jake's early at any of their 6 locations. They've got fantastic food. They've got 80 big screen TVs. They've got 22 different beers on tap. It's the place to be on a regular basis if you love good food, cold beer, and really good sports.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Big injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce. The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network. Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. VennFights.com.
Fitness needs to be for everyone, and Planet Fitness is for everyone. They have 2,700 clubs nationwide with another 50 here in Metro Detroit, and you can get your membership at just $24.99. Gives you the ability to bring in a guest for free anytime that you want, and then you can also get yourself some access to that black card spot. We are all strong on this planet, Planet Fitness.
Friend of the program with DetroitLions.com put out something who might be fits. We're going to talk about that coming up. Sundays and every day, really, anything that ends in a Y has become a lot bigger in Detroit because of Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Real vodka, real iced tea, just a clean, crisp sip. You don't have to worry about bubbles. You don't have to worry about any of that stuff that goes up your nose and makes you sneeze. It's 100 calories, but probably more importantly, and I don't think this gets stressed enough, it tastes really good, man. It does. I mean, it's got a little hinge of that lemon that you feel right there. It's so good. It's so clean. It's so refreshing. A day like today, high 70s, perfect time. Sit on the porch, have one after work. You deserve it, but please drink responsibly.
And Cam, what pairs perfectly with a nice Sun Cruiser? A doobie.
A fatty.
A fatty. And you can get some of that over at one of Lume's many locations around the state. And in fact, they're opening a new one. We will be there to open it with them. Saturday and Sunday, May 2nd and 3rd, we'll be out in New Buffalo for the grand opening of their newest store. The Heavies will be there. Braylon Edwards will be there. And that will be starting at 4 p.m. on Saturday. Then on Friday, I talked about it yesterday, Tulum, Mexico. You want to go? Get there on Sunday. Get into the drawing at 5 p.m. Woodward Sports will be sending 2 people to Tulum, Mexico.
Are you going with them?
I hope so, man. Cornhole, top brands on site, massive deals all weekend long. Do not miss out. We look forward to seeing you at Loom Cannabis in New Buffalo, May 2nd and 3rd.
Well, you can make that happen. I mean, you're the guy in charge, so you can do that.
I'll just meet him down there.
Okay. That's fair.
Tulum is wonderful, bro. We love it.
Listen, Kool-Aid, please keep us up to date on who people have chosen. Can you do that? Because I want to make sure everybody has theirs read. When we ask for something like, give us your day 1 pick, your day 2 pick, and your day 3 pick, we mean that. But we, in order for us to, express to people who you're looking at, we want people to feel comfortable sending in on the chat, and then we will make sure we read them, okay? So let's go around the room. We'll go day by day. Day by day. First day, tomorrow. Who do you envision if they stay at 17? Now, a lot of people feel like, and you talked about this yesterday, and I want more of your thoughts on this, and we'll get it right after we do this exercise here, of the possibility of moving up. But if they stayed at 17, realistically, who would you like to see them take and why?
I still think that it's Blake Miller.
Okay.
I've been saying his name for 6 weeks now. What the guy brings as an athlete, you can put him out at right tackle, you can move him inside. I think that he would be absolutely elite inside, and I think that he'd be great outside. High character guy, high motor guy, and high productivity through his time in college. This is a name that I told you guys 6 weeks ago would be out of the second round and would be into that 20s. That's what we've seen. This is a guy that they've been tied to. Lions have interviewed him. I don't believe they've had him to Allen Park, but they've had some interviews with him. We played a couple clips of him talking about what it would be like to play with Penei Sewell. I'm not budging. My pick is Blake Miller.
Okay. Kool-Aid. Your first day pick.
You know what? I got to echo exactly what my guy Anson is saying. It is a Blake Miller. I don't think that Iyanyi is going to be there for them at that pick. And I believe that Blake Miller is a guy who, he's played a lot, he's practiced a lot, his availability is there, and I've liked what we've heard from him. It sounds like one of those Dan Campbell guys, and that would be my pick, man.
Okay.
Blake Miller.
Sweet potato camp.
Francis Maui Yoga. Lock down that right tackle there.
He's not going to be there, though.
Well, there's a little herniated disc stuff that just came
out
today.
A lot of that stuff comes out. I mean,
sure,
he's going to be, in all likelihood, it's either him or Spencer Fano are going to be
I wouldn't be mad at him.
Well, I like Fano, too, though. That's a plug-and-play. Solidify that right side, and, you move Penei over to the left and secure Goff's backside.
I like that. I like that you guys have all thought offensive line, and I am right in line with you.
I can guess.
So my initial thought is Monroe Freeling, because he is one of my favorite players. You talk about a Dan Campbell guy. He added 75 pounds over the last 5 years to his 6'7", 315-pound frame. Mm-hmm. He's really athletic. His mom's a yoga instructor. So he had that growth spurt in 8th grade, and everyone was like, holy cow. He committed 1 penalty in 18 career starts.
Awesome.
1. Yeah. That's it. All right.
If he's there, he feels like the pick.
He's
I just
young.
don't even know if he's going to be there.
He's young. He's 22. He's in the 90th percentile among offensive tackles in height, hand size, 40-yard dash, vertical jump. I think he's going to be he could be a left tackle for you right away. But I've been thinking about this really hard over the last 24-plus hours. It's not often where the Lions bring a guy in, like Larry Borum, and sign him to a 1-year deal just for him to sit. And I think they like him, they trust him at right tackle, because Brad Holmes has talked about how he's looked at his tape specifically at Miami while he was the right tackle and is comfortable with it. Because of that, I've changed my opinion. And if Viveka Aoni is going to be there, I could see the Lions taking him. All right, he has been a starter for 2.5 years. He is a really, really explosive run blocker. He dogs defenders on a regular basis, and like shoves them, pushes them around, mauls them. Love everything about it. Big arms, thick trunk, powerful hands, wide-bodied, stout, plug-and-play guy for 10 years. I will go with Vavega Ayonye. All right, so on day one.
I'm down.
I wouldn't have a problem with any four of ours.
Yeah, me neither.
I wouldn't.
Me neither.
You know, if you told me that Mariola was dropping and the Lions grabbed him, I would be fine with him.
Yes, please.
My issue with him is, you know, he played tackle. They're going to move him inside in all likelihood. That's what people think his best position is guard. I want the best guard, but he's a really good athlete, so I don't have a problem with any of them. All right, day two, we'll start with Kool-Aid first. Day two, that means the second round, because there is no third round. And again, there's no trading. So day two, pick number 50 on the Lions board.
You know what? I know there's a lot of fans of the what do they call him, the dirtbag, Mr. Christian Mahogany, but I was sitting here going back and forth with, do you get an edge or do you just do something that you think completes your offensive line for the future? And I'm gonna go back with something we said last week. That's Emmanuel Pregnon for me out of Oregon.
Okay.
Going ahead and snag him at pick 50 for the Detroit Lions, and know that you got your lineup of hopefully today and the future as it relates to the offensive line.
Wow. That's well, you're set. I like Pregnon a lot. I think he's really good.
I was like, man, there's because I know
tackle and a guard.
Because I know what they said on online. Mm-hmm. I'll go with the edge. I also thought about, if Moore is there, but I don't know.
Derek Moore, you're saying the defensive end out of Michigan.
Yep.
All right, Sweet Potato Cam.
I was going to say Derek Moore also.
Okay.
The AQM replacement. Lions pass rush was not effective last year, so let's get that bolstered.
I'm going with Gabe Yakis. He's the edge rusher from Illinois. Led Illinois in sacks and tackles for loss and forced fumbles in his junior year and his senior season. As a freshman, he was an All-American. He led the Big Ten with 11 sacks. No other Illinois player had more than 2. He's quick. He's yoked. He's super athletic. You can play him off the edge or...
Wait.
Lost my train of thought. You can play
when the girls are looking there, and we get the TD to move the camera because you get the full reaction. It's amazing. Shout out to our Lady Jane's ladies.
For sure.
Sam with the best energy around. Too.
Without question. Ask Cam. So I would say that he is all that and more. He can come off either edge, and he'll rush up the middle as well. I think he checks every single edge rush box for the Lions. I'll go with Gabe Yakis. Who do you have?
You've mentioned him a couple times.
Yep.
Really like him. They've shown interest in him. They've had him in. Obviously, it's not as official because he's here in state. I have no problem with him at 50. I'm going to go a little different direction, a name that we have not mentioned at all.
Good.
Rodrigo 2.0, courtesy of Texas Tech.
Jacob
Mr.
Rodriguez?
Jacob Rodriguez.
Okay.
And this is a guy who was an absolute psychopath last year. 7 forced fumbles. He had picks, tackles for losses,
playmaker, man.
Sacks, absolute playmaker. And his RAS score is off the charts, another high character guy. You absolutely get your day one replacement for Alex Anzalone.
I really like him. I heard a podcast the other day. People question his speed, B, his adequate size, and a little bit of the history. Liz Frank problem didn't
Lions
require
love
surgery.
That.
I know.
Lions love that.
It seemed like it. Okay, day 3, which is we'll just do the 4th round if that's all right. We don't expect all 9 picks. So the 4th round pick might be a little bit more challenging for us. I hope we all have a name. Sweet Potato Cam goes first. Who is the 4th round pick that you got?
I don't have a name, but I feel like we really need to emphasize the secondary in those latter rounds.
I don't disagree with you there.
Don't worry, I'm gonna.
I have done that. My 4th round pick is Bud Clark.
Okay.
He's the safety out of TCU. He was a captain there. He was a 4-year starter. He's super versatile, okay? He had 35 pass defended and 15 interceptions as a ball hawk for the Horned Frogs defense. By the way, the 15 picks are fourth most in the history of TCU football, and they've had some good players come out of there. Okay, so he's a really good cover. You could see him maybe playing behind Branch and Kirby Joseph to start, and then eventually be a starter. I would take that as a fourth-round pick. I think he's super athletic. I would take a guy like Bud Clark in the fourth round if he were there. He probably won't be there.
I like that. I mean, he's savvy enough where by mid-season you could have him starting, and now you're moving BB when he comes back all over the place.
He's got really good range.
Yes.
Really does. Okay.
I'm a fan.
Who do you got?
So I mentioned the other Proctor yesterday, Caleb Proctor, that I see at 118. I'm not as excited about him. I'm excited about that 128 pick and bringing home the best name in this draft. Ephesians Prysock, 6'4", 195 cornerback. This guy he's pretty impressive. He's known for his exceptional size, length, and proficiency in press, man, and zone coverage. If you do the deep dive on this kid...
Went to Washington, right?
Correct. Okay. This guy, I truly believe, could be that Reek Woolen diamond in the rough for our secondary on day 3. Love Ephesians Price.
That's a really good one because he is projected to be a 4th or a 5th round guy.
I absolutely love him. We have no size in our corner room. Yeah. And that's a guy that could come in immediately and affect the way that offenses attack us.
Really physical.
Very.
Started his career, I believe, at Arizona and then went to Washington. So that's a very creative pick. Good for you. All right. I love it. What about you, Kool-Aid?
Yeah, 2 years at Arizona, 2 at Washington.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm along the same lines of Cam as it relates to the position. I was going back and forth between, do you look at an edge or safety? You got to address the secondary with so much uncertainty there.
Yep.
I did think about do you take a chance on like a Logan Fano, edge from Utah, brother, Spencer Fano? But
big fan.
Yeah, I don't think that you go wrong with really any of the people that you guys mentioned. But do you look at a guy as well out of Georgia like a Dalen Everett? You know, and I like the height test. I know that there's some people out there who are cool with cornerbacks who are shorter as long as they can run a route and play tight. But I'm ready for some taller and some bigger frame secondary members for the Detroit Lions. And so I'm cool with effectively Bud Clark, Dalen, or anybody that they choose to go with in that secondary.
I love the names, man. Good job, you guys. I mean, it's well researched. Tim Twentyman's a friend of the program. Does a really good job for DetroitLions.com.
Yes, he does.
He wrote this and tweeted it out an hour ago. Some of the players that could fit the Lions. Ready? Taylon Green is one of them.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
You know what scares the hell out of me? 37 turnovers in the last 2 years.
Still a fan.
That's bad decision making. Okay, scares the living crap out of me. All right. Well, if we're gonna sit there and bitch about, and rightfully so, about Jared Goff turning it over 4 times and Detroit turning it over 5 times against Washington. That scares the hell out of me. Guys, 37 times. Yeah, Think about that for a minute.
We're talking like a 6th, 7th rounder, though. So we talked about there's 3 guys that I wouldn't be upset with them using 6th or 7th round.
Yeah, 6th or 7th round. I got you.
Nothing higher on him, though.
But I go back to what I said yesterday. If you've got a chance to take a rotational linebacker in the 6th round and you spend it on a guy who may not play, may hold a clipboard, and by the way, in his back pocket has 37 cough-ups over the last 2 years. I mean, that makes Josh Allen look like a guy who treasures the football in his first couple of years. Another name, Roman Henby. He's the running back out of Oklahoma, or out of Indiana. We watched him play in the Big Ten this year.
Yep.
I like him.
There's a kid out of Toledo that I love, Chip Trayanum.
Don't know him. Not gonna
could
lie.
end up being a David Montgomery type of clone that we could get with our last pick.
Okay.
Intriguing guy.
I love that. Who's the kid out of Army? Who's the Swiss Army knife? Do you know who he is?
No, I thought you were going to say Navy, but who I love, Landon Robinson. Big fan.
Yeah, this is the guy who his name escapes me. I'm sorry, we got so many names going through our minds. He's the guy who many people feel could be a similar player.
Andre Carter? Or no, wait.
It's probably not fair. A similar player to
Noah Short.
CMC. Okay, he's very Heidenreich. It's from Navy. Eli Heidenreich.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Have you seen him? 5th round pick. Did you watch him play against Army? He's everywhere.
Yeah.
Great pass receiver. Runs his ass off. Tough, hard-nosed, athletic kid. That wouldn't be a bad 5th round pick. Anyway, let me get back to Tim 20-minute. Ted Hurst, a wide receiver from Georgia State. Not going to claim to know him. Eli Stowers, he's the tight end from Vanderbilt. This is a deep draft in tight ends. I firmly believe the Lions are going to take a tight end. I really do. Marlon Klein, 5th round pick, if he were there, would be a really good pick. He's super athletic.
Good
I think
hands.
you could expand him, from an offensive
What about
standpoint.
Dalen Bentley out of Utah?
Yeah, I think he's rated a little higher.
Yeah, I would probably take a 5th rounder.
So that might be, what's that?
I would probably take a 5th rounder to get him.
To get him, you mean you would trade one?
No,
Or-
it would take one of our 5th round picks to get him.
Yeah, same thing with Marlon Klein. I think Klein is rated a little bit further down than some of these other guys. Like Sam Roush, the kid from Stanford, he's a really good player. The kid from Ohio State, Will Kazmark, but he doesn't have a ton of yards and a ton of catches under his belt because he's playing with really good wide receivers. Anyway, so Eli Stowers. Jennings Dunker, which everybody seems to love because of the mullet. He's the guard/tackle at Iowa. Obviously, Monroe Freeling. Caleb Banks, the defensive tackle out of Florida. Keldrick Falk, the edge rusher from Auburn, who we've talked about. Jacob Rodriguez, who you pointed out. Avion Terrell, and Emmanuel McNeil Warren, the safety from Toledo. Those are some of the names that Tim Twentyman had talked about.
Katron Allen's another guy at running back that I wouldn't mind seeing the Lions get late.
Here's another one. This is interesting. This is making the rounds, and this is why it's a little deceiving right around this time of the year, because people seem to be leaking things for their own benefit, which I guess is all part of it.
It's a game.
So, somebody recently tweeted that Caleb Downs, the odds makers, odds makers currently have Caleb Downs as better than 50% that he falls out of the top 10.
Yes, please.
Okay, so if he did, let's say 10 is already done, all right? The Giants have just made their second selection in the first round because they have 5 and 10. 10 came in from Cincinnati after, when they traded the big fella, Dexter Lawrence, to Cincinnati, so they got the 10th overall pick. Would you, if you were the Lions, would you trade up to get Caleb Downs? Would you trade to 11, which I believe is Miami?
And they need secondary help.
They need everything.
Yeah,
except for quarterback, because they just,
they've
signed
got him.
Malik Willis.
They've got him Mansour Delane mocked to them. So if you're looking and you're Miami, you're looking at 2 of these guys. One that you didn't think you'd have a chance at, and another guy that's really going to help you. You could maybe move down because the guys that are after that, you don't really see the need for defense on a lot of these teams. The Bucks, the Jets, the Ravens, the Rams. These guys are most likely all going to be looking for offensive help. So it's possible at that point, if you're Miami, that you can say, hey, we can move back 6 rounds, still get one of these secondary
6 spots,
guys.
You mean, in the
us.
first round?
Yeah, move back down to 17. Yeah. And now if you're the Lions, Caleb Downs, man, like day 1 starter for you. Now you can take your time bringing back Brian Branch, and you use him, like I said earlier in the week, as a defensive weapon. You line him up in the box, you put him in coverage, you rush the quarterback with him. There's so many different things
Get creative
that he
with
can
him.
do 100%. I love that. And as much as we need offensive line help and all that we have done is invest in this offense for 4 or 5 years now. It's time to start investing on the other side of the ball, because that ultimately is what has cost us year after year. That to me, man, I'm always a safety guy. That's just my favorite position on the field. So to bring in a guy that I like that much, to just really kind of silence all the doubt about what's going to happen with our safety room, what's going to happen with our secondary, that shuts all of that up, and then you just get better when Branch gets back. What are they going to have to give up? The next question I think you're going to answer is probably a third, might be a second next year.
Future, yeah. Yeah, giving up all these picks in the future just worries me just a little bit. He's an unbelievable talent.
Truly
He's
is.
an unbelievable locker room guy as
Physically
well.
and mentally.
It does fly in the face of fixing what we would consider a high need. It does.
I mean,
the needs are still. You would still be wondering, what am I going to do about the offensive line? What am I going to do about my edge rush? What am I going to do about my backer?
I still think that our secondary is just as much of a concern, if not more than everything else. Every single cornerback we have is 5'10", right? And then the other guy
that's saying that height test, man.
And then the other guy that we don't have is, or the guy that's not 5'10", is in court right now. You know?
Yeah.
And then our other two guys.
But Caleb Downs doesn't fix that.
I get that, and I know he's not a huge guy, but in terms of our secondary, it's a massive question mark for me. We've just been owned by number one wide receivers ad nauseum, repeat, year after year, week after week. Something along those lines has to change. And the fact that we don't know what's going on with Kirby. He says all the right things, and he's throwing out T-shirts and stuff, but we know that BB's not going to be back for a while. To me, I think that especially who's Ennis Rakestraw? Does he even play for this team? Is TA going to be available for this team? Everybody else is undersized, and again, Caleb doesn't have great size, but he brings great intangibles, intelligence, and just playmaking ability. I think that the corner is probably more important than that edge. I put secondary right up there with offensive line. Yeah, absolutely. Wow. Well, because you can plug in an AQM and he can get you 11 sacks. We've seen this. You know, I mean, I know everybody is so enamored with that sexy edge to pair with Hutch. We've been talking about it and fantasizing and fixating it for a couple of years now. I'm sorry, but all your edges get better if your corners are creating time.
For sure. I don't disagree with that. Your corners get better if you're creating pocket problems too. But Caleb Downs, again, he is not a guy. He can play. He can play different parts as a safety. He doesn't have to. He's not necessarily just a center field guy.
100%.
He can be a boundary safety and all that other stuff. But it does not help you unless you're double teaming, unless you're bracketing some wide receiver in coverage. So that's my only concern. And I still think you could probably still get your edge. You could still get somebody in the second round that would help your offensive line as well. Yeah. But I think edge is more of a need than the secondary. That's just my opinion. This is interesting because you had mentioned, look, we have put so much resources into the offense. Brad Holmes has made 36 draft selections in his career, right?
I'm curious to hear this number.
How many are on offense and how many are on defense? 36 total. I'm going to give you a guess.
I'm going to go 20 and 16. 20 offense.
20 offense, 16. Okay, Kool-Aid. Of the 36 draft picks he's made, how many are offense and how many are defense?
In 36, I'm going to go...
It's a setup. I think it's a setup. It's probably more defensive players.
I feel like it's more defensive for some reason. About, let's say, 22 defensive players.
22? Okay.
That's what I was going to say. 22 and what, 14 then?
So 20. You say 22 defense?
Offense.
22 offense.
I'm saying 22 defense.
Okay. It's 19 defense, 17 offense.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, pretty freaking even.
How many trades has he made? Cam already knows this because he told me. How many trades
in the draft?
5 years has he made in the draft?
6?
4?
Kool-Aid? 27.
Averaging how many per draft?
5.5.
Wow. You forget a lot about those late moves that they make.
Right.
Yeah, for sure.
6, I said.
The conference, the conference.
6 last year.
But he's not aggressive enough.
6 last year.
Yeah.
The conference where he has chosen most players from. What conference?
Yeah.
Avi.
Come on.
AFC South? No.
No. College. I'm sorry.
College. Well, I would hope it's the SEC.
Kool-Aid?
SEC.
SEC.
It is the SEC. And the most players drafted from one specific school is what? Bama 4 picks.
Roll flipping tide.
Bama.
With those green mouth guards in their helmet.
So does that make you think just a little bit like Caden Proctor? Exactly.
No, not at all. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
Jinx, you owe me a Coke.
That is.
We didn't even plan that.
I know, we didn't. So Caden Proctor, maybe, just maybe, that's where people have that link. Now, I spoke with a Lions insider this morning, and I asked him about the Caden Proctor push that so many people have given. And he's like, yeah, my radar's up about that. The Lions do not operate this way, like we talked about yesterday. The Lions do not operate where, hey, here's who we're taking. Let everybody know. They are so close to the vest. It's very similar to what Iserman does with the Wings and Harris does with the Tigers. Very close to the vest.
So if he gives you any smoke, it's absolutely not that guy.
Well,
close to the vest while being deceptive too.
Yeah, I don't want to say it that way, but it does make me think twice before I would go with it.
Right.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it's very, very strange. There's a lot of things that are going on right now about this NFL draft that make me think more than once about it. You know, why certain medical records are now being distributed about certain players.
Playing the game.
And you're going, wait a minute. Here's another one. Caleb Banks is a defensive lineman for Florida. NFL teams just received a letter, according to Pete Thamel, just received a letter today about Caleb Banks as he recovers from a surgically repaired bone in his left foot. The letter states that after a CT scan on Tuesday, Banks is on pace to be fully cleared for football activities in early June. How is that coming out now? I don't get it. I think teams
somebody wants him and they want him to fall.
Yeah.
100%.
Exactly.
I mean, the Maui Goa stuff could really benefit the Lions. You know, the herniated disc just coming out last night, slipped 4 or 5 spots, and it changes everything for you. I mean, you look at Penei Sewell. I mean, thank God it was COVID and he didn't play that year. Otherwise, that guy's a top 3 pick.
For sure. Unless it's Braylon Edwards, then he would have definitely taken Micah Parsons, which I understand. But he's had that debate.
Him and Maz.
He's had that debate. Woodward Sports, our family, has come out with its mock draft. I don't know who they talked to, but this is what they have. Spencer Fano at 17. Danny Dennis Sutton, he's the edge rusher from Penn State. Wouldn't hate that.
Well, you know edge rusher was coming 1 or 2 from a Woodward draft.
I like Akis better, but
But from a Woodward draft, there was an edge in one of those first 2 picks.
For
guaranteed.
sure. Bud Clark.
There you go.
Okay, can't be mad. Dallin Bentley, the tight end you were talking about.
We're all hitting. I haven't seen this, by the way.
Fabeki Nwanyu.
God bless you.
Thank you. He's the offensive guard from Oklahoma. Okay. For some reason, they must have made a trade because they have 9 picks.
They love making trades, dude.
Andre Fuller, the cornerback from Toledo, which is a good pick. Okay, he's a good player. And then Jack Kelly, who I like. He's a linebacker out of BYU. Now, do I like him as much as Aiden Fisher from Indiana? Nope. I really like Aiden Fisher. I would really like to see him in a Lions uniform in a later draft. And that's the guy I've thought of when you talked about quarterback in the 6th round. If Aiden Fisher happens to fall, I would love to see Detroit grab a guy like that. I think he's one of those quote-unquote diamonds in the rough. I think he's a badass.
Agreed.
And I think he's a tough dude who fits right in line with what Dan Campbell is all about. Okay, let's get to some people in the chat. Want to make sure we're giving you all kinds of love because you deserve it, and see who you're thinking of. So, Kool-Aid, as you fish through this, what are you noticing from our good people in the chat? And smash that like button if you can.
Oh yeah, now I see you, Duncan Stewart. He wants Maui Yoga. He thinks that that's the guy that you go after, and I'm seeing a lot of love for one Caden Proctor. The screen just moved on me, so I want to be able to shout out some of these names, but Caden Proctor is the one that I'm seeing as the popular one amongst our chat family. I see some Caleb Downs. Lions 57, Restore 49 said Caleb Downs is elite. RJ Graham safety. We need to draft at 50 is Kamari Ramsey, man-to-man cornerback or safety. So I'm seeing a lot of, if it's not, in the first round I'm seeing Proctor. For the second round I'm seeing more secondary options out of the chat family.
Art Vandelay.
He's an exporter.
I know you love that.
He's an exporter-importer.
That name.
If Fano, Aonye, or Freeling are there at 17, you grab them. If you aren't, you trade into the late 20s plus. The only problem I have with late 20s you better be really confident you can still get a guy who is a plug-and-play guy. And I don't know what late 20s is, but where would that be? I mean, if you're talking about late 20s, there's teams that are in the high 20s, 21, 22, 23, that need offensive linemen too. You're going to have more teams that are in the market for an offensive lineman now ahead of you, and you're going to be getting the guy who is a lot lower on your board.
My dream scenario is that we can, I don't know if it's going to happen, but trade back to get a Blake Miller and pick up just a little bit more drive capital.
Yes, please.
That's
and I don't think that you can go past 23 to do that.
Yeah.
I think when we're talking about this, shout out to our Western Michigan grad who is in the
out.
building right now.
Shout out,
Justin
Juice.
Satawa is here, and he is finally ours. 365 days a year. You want to sit in the chair and join us for a minute, buddy? It's good to have you home, for sure.
Shout out, man.
So you got a
How was
name-
that graduation party? That had to be.
It's on Saturday.
Oh, it's on Saturday?
Yep. My whole hockey team's getting together, and I'm sure it will be, very reasonable time.
So my best friend graduated from
a
Western.
very reasonable
I
time.
promise you. He was in a house at Western Michigan. He had all the grade school buddies come up and celebrate. He lived with 3 other buddies of mine who we all went to high school and grade school together. And the party was the night before his graduation. And it was, in a phrase, out of control.
Yeah.
Out of control. The next day, everybody was on a couch or in a chair snoring, if you get my drift. You hear his family on the porch. What's going on? And the smell of beer is very unique, is it not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially the next morning.
Very pungent on the nostrils.
Yes. Pungent, especially on hardwood floors. I'll never forget his brother saying, well, there's Shep, there's Goops, all nicknames. Where the hell is Dan? And you could hear one of the moms say, oh, he wouldn't have partaken in something like this. He was in the basement in just his gown. He missed the graduation. He missed walking. He was
My type of
as
guy.
green as that Woodward sports sign. So what do you got going? What's the celebration going to be like for you?
We're going to have a team party with my hockey team. I'm sure it's going to get pretty crazy. We'll probably end up at the bars. The local bar out there that's known for the Saturday nights is the Library. 50% off Saturdays is what they're famous for. So
Yikes.
everything that
Trouble.
you can possibly get is 50% off. So
Wow.
it gets crazy wild. I mean, you can't run up a tab, really. Like, honestly, like, I'll have a heavy night out there, and I'll be paying for my girl, too, and the max that I've gotten up to is, like, $70. And
College life, man. I love
Yeah,
it.
right. Big spender. $70.
It's electric. And then I'm going to South Africa for 10 days.
Amazing.
I'm not walking, going to South Africa instead. And I didn't walk as a senior in high school. I was a 2020. So
Overrated.
Why would I walk as a 2025? Or 26.
Sometimes people would say, well, it matters to the parents, considering probably their assistants.
They paid
with
to
you.
see that.
But I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. I mean, as a dad, I would say you're walking, but South Africa is very, very cool.
They were the ones who are taking me on the trip, so it's of their own.
You're clear.
Yeah,
Easy sell.
it's not
You're
even my
clear.
decision. I might walk in the summer when they do like summer graduation after like the first semester. I got a couple buddies who are gonna walk then anyway, so I might do that. If I do, it will be for my mom. It will not be for myself. I could care less. However,
10 days in South Africa.
Hell yeah.
That is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. Never been over the pond before.
Okay.
First time.
So you got to take a lot of videos. I do know somebody who's been in South Africa, and they showed me videos. They were in a Jeep. A lion was trotting
Right next to him.
about 60 yards in front of them.
Okay.
Elephants just mowing down trees like
Like an elephant.
like you kill edibles. It was unbelievable. Unbelievable. So please take videos and bring them back.
I 100% will. I mean, this is a once-in-a-lifetime trip.
Yeah.
And
Hell yeah.
I can't wait. And, I appreciate everyone here at Woodward Sports, especially
We got you, buddy.
my support system. Anson has created a couple fill-ins for me. And then I got Trav, who's going to hold it down on socials for me. I'm going to give him some content before then so he doesn't feel too short-handed. But I
That is
appreciate
awesome.
the support system that Woodward Sports gives me. And it's because of the people.
Shout out.
And that's what it's all about. So thank you, guys.
Yeah, congratulations. Way to go, man.
He has some super chat in here, too. Sideless, Burn in the chat, $2 says, Congrats, Justin. You are a free man. He says, now go get a job.
No, the freedom ends the moment you graduate, bro. Be honest.
The shackles of school are being lifted. Next Monday is when I have to turn in my last project.
Proud of you, brother.
Next Monday. And I can't wait to be here full time.
I love. This is my favorite one from King Gambit. He says, Justin here looking like an 80s filmmaker.
Yeah, he does.
So true.
Like he's about to go to South Africa and like film the best movie of all time.
He does look like Serpico.
I'm in summer Justin mode.
It's cool.
I'm about to be living my best life.
Yeah,
Burned all your
He looks like a
pants.
playoff hockey player right now.
Hey, will you do me a favor? Go home and watch a little bit of Al Pacino and Serpico. You look just like him.
You
Okay.
do.
Yeah,
All right.
it's
You really do.
badass.
That's wild.
Way to go! Congratulations. Happy for you,
Congrats,
and
brother.
if, as a collective group, I'm sure we can all say we're really proud of you.
And
too.
we're really
Yes, sir.
happy to have you back finally,
Yes.
bro. I'm going to tell you flat out, man.
Yeah, me and Anson to the moon, baby. Come
No
on.
doubt. Let's go, baby. Come
All right,
on.
you guys can go moon together. Here's another one from God Hates Cowards. Freeling and Proctor in round one. Let's just ask, because he's graduating, he's going to South Africa. Justin, who would you take in round one if you were the Lions at
Who
17?
would I take, or who do I think we're going to take?
Give
'Cause
us
those
both.
are two different questions. I think that they're going to. I'm kind of leaning that they're going to take whatever. Oh, I want them to take an O tackle.
Just give
I
me a
like
name.
Blake Miller. I like Monroe Freeling. I'd be fine with both those. I'm not as high on Proctor as most people. I know that the Lions love him, but
Well,
he is,
we think that. That's what
Allegedly.
people
yeah,
have
people,
said.
that's fair.
Yeah.
But from what we have
Allegedly.
heard, the Lions like him. Could be a smokescreen, but I personally, the lowlights are just ingrained in my head. I watched a lot of Alabama football this year, and he would get beat constantly. He'd be a reason why Ty Simpson's running around in the pocket like a crazy man. And so I personally don't like Proctor. I think Juwan Taylor is a very big comp to what I think Caden Proctor is going to be. Just an absolute nightmare in terms of penalties and getting beat around the edge. Who I think they're going to take? Kenyon Sadiq. I think that they're going to.
I think they're taking a tight end, huh?
I think that they're with Petzing. Petzing wants to run a 2 tight end set, and
Interesting.
I think that they're gonna hold it on the Porta for a little longer. But at the end of the day, I think they're gonna do something similar they did with Hawkinson, and they're gonna move Laporta.
How do you think that will? How do you think the fan base would react? I mean, he's a really good player. as we all
Meltdown.
know. He's a really good
Meltdown
player.
mode.
He's an unbelievable player.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
one of the best offensive weapons in this draft, regardless of position. And if tight end was more of a premium, he would be in the conversations with the Jeremiah Loves of this draft because he is that explosive, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They have a need for tight end with Petzing, and I can't get it out of my head, Shep. I really can't. With Brad's history, he hasn't shown a premium on the edge position. He's all BPA. It's always been BPA. He in the Inside the Den documentary is talking about how Larry Bloom he believes is a starting offensive tackle in the
Larry
NFL.
Borum.
Larry Borum.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Larry Borum. It's hard to argue, and I'd love to see a lot of other players make it there. I mean, there's a couple edges I like. There's a couple corners I like.
We'll give you. I'll tell you what. If he drafts it, we'll give you credit.
Yeah.
I don't think that's happening. Somebody in the chat says if he. I'm sorry. Some people just tight end in round one. I'll lose my shit.
No,
the whole city will, bro.
Yeah, riot. It'll be a riot.
Look, I do think they
Shout
need a
out
tight
Vincent.
end. I'm not going to disagree with you there. I do think they need a tight end. I don't think they need it that badly. Yes, they run more 12, more 13 personnel. More and more teams are doing that in the NFL than ever before. It is a premium position. Unless we don't know something about Sam Laporta's back, I still think, with Brock Wright, and of course they brought fire up Chips. Sorry, they brought in Conklin. I could see a tight end later in the draft. I'm not sure I see it at 17. But look, he's done some strange things in the past. You're right. We just got done talking about he's drafted more defensive players than offensive players in his tenure in Detroit so far.
Surprising.
Which I think a lot of people would be surprised with. Of the 36, 19 defense, 17 offense. But he has been unpredictable. So
I believe that if Ione is gone
love him.
3 of the 4 offensive tackles are gone of the premier tackles, Mauioa, Fano, Freeling, and Proctor or Miller, whatever one you want to. It seems like those 2 are kind of interchangeable at 4 and 5. I'd rather go with not me. I feel like Brad would rather, because I do not want a tight end. I will be upset if they do it, but it seems like with the way the draft board's configuring, with teams' needs, that Kenyon Sadiq is going to be the clear best player there at 17, and I don't think that Brad is going to be able to restrain himself, especially with how this team's built. I mean, you see how this team's built. This team is built to be an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
They're not built to play defense.
But they're already an offensive juggernaut.
Yeah.
Okay, so the need, well, I hate the word need because I don't think you should draft for need. I think you should be PPA. Every team should best player available. The great teams of the past, great teams do that. They don't worry about need. They take the best player and then they worry about it later. But you can marry the two. And the kid's a really good player. I think you can get, this is one of the deeper classes, recent classes in tight ends, for tight ends.
Oh, sure, yeah. Stowers is going to go in the middle of the second round, and he is a very good ball player.
There's a lot of quality and value at tight ends later in the draft. That's the reason I say that. I think there's a run on offensive linemen early.
Yeah.
And because of that, if you don't get your guy, unless you get Pregnon, the guy from Oregon, unless you get him, I think you're going to there's a few guys you could get in the second round, but I think most of those really high-quality offensive linemen are going early.
And I think a lot of people are missing the value of some of these middling edges. Like Cassius Howell's a guy who's really dropped on people's boards.
Texas A&M. Yep.
I really like him as a day 2 pick. I think that, I mean, you can't take away how big of a game wrecker a guy is in college. I know that sometimes the measurables don't match up, but when you are a game wrecker and you can create plays, it's the same thing I feel like with Falk too. And I don't want Falk in the first round. I'm not saying that, but I think both those guys can make plays, and even Falk. I think that the profile fits what Brad
I like him.
likes.
I like him. Cassius Howell was a little inconsistent at Texas A&M. Okay,
but when he's on, he's a bowling ball.
Well. They said the same thing about Tyleik Williams. Okay, I need my guy to be on from an edge a lot, and that's why I like Akis. I think he's a better player than Cassius Howell, but it'll be an interesting way to go about it. Congratulations! Thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. We got to hit a break real quick. When we come back, we will shift gears. We will make sure we get your massive chats read. Okay, Kool-Aid's got them. Okay, smash that like button. We appreciate that as always, and the super chats. If they're flowing, that means Kool-Aid's keeping really busy. But we will shift gears and talk a little Pistons game 2 tonight for sure. There's something that J.B. Bickerstaff said the other day that has got us a little confused, and we'll get to that when we come back after this. From Estates Title and Pure Psychiatry. Stay with us.
Hey, if you're about to buy a home or you're looking to refinance, you need to call Mr. Deeds, Nabi Saad, over at Estates Title Agency. You see the 2 numbers for you there. They make closing simple and convenient. The biggest thing, though, guys, title agent works on your behalf. They don't represent the mortgage company, the lender, or the real estate agent. They are there to cover you, to make sure that you're not taken advantage of and you get the best deal possible. So reach out to Nabi Saad at State's Title Agency.
You know, the draft time of year gets us all a little stressed because of what Justin was just saying. You know, what if they take a tight end? Oh, my God, people are going to go crazy. It's Eric Ebron all over again. It's Brandon Pettigrew all over again. The stress level is going to be way too high. At Woodward Sports, we want you to know, and Pure Psychiatry, you are never alone. Your mental health journey can be helped with people at Pure Psychiatry. They provide personalized psychiatric design specifically for you. It's not a cookie-cutter plan, folks. It's not the same old, same old. It's not the same thing that I use or Cam would use or Kool-Aid would use or Anson. They design it specifically for you. Accessible and comfortable. 16 locations in Michigan, 2 in Ohio. Go to purepsychmi.com today.
Planet Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Injuries, big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
To any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week, walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it's wicked awesome.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports. WoodwardSports.com and click on Shop. Get the latest in Detroit sports apparel and exclusive Woodward Sports gear. WoodwardSports.com can get the whole team outfitted. Love the Pistons, Red Wings, and Tigers? We got something for you, too. Shop online at WoodwardSports.com. The most talked about Detroit media by other Detroit media, and we love it. It's the Woodward Sports Network. Game is won in the trenches, and our big fellas don't mess around. The Woodward Heavyweights on Woodward Sports.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Time to get those units in on that Caesars Sportsbook app, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Game 2 Pistons, baby. Let's go. You can place that bet up to $1,000. And if you lose, you get that back. All y'all got to do is scan that QR code. Enter that code Woodward1000. And if your first bet doesn't hit, you get your deposit back up to $1,000. One whole stack back just for giving it a shot. Minimum bet $20. Download that Caesars Sportsbook app today, the official sportsbook of Woodward Sports. Use code Woodward1000 or scan that QR code on the screen. And most people think energy comes from a 16-ounce can full of sugar and neon color liquid. Oh, my gut hurts just thinking about it. But we all know better. It's time to upgrade your game with Thrive Energy Pouches. This ain't your daddy's dib. It's tobacco-free, nicotine-free, packing 300 milligrams of clean, smart caffeine. No jitters, no sugar crash, zero bloating. Grab some wintergreen, peach, peppermint, or cinnamon today. Scan that QR code on your screen or visit dipstop.com. Use promo code WSF for 50% off your entire order. Thrive Clean Energy, zero distractions. They just flippin' work.
As the weather heats up, you want to cool down. You want to cool down with something really good, and that is Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. Any Art and Jake's location, Mondays, Thursdays, Saturdays, you get $5 shorts. If it's not one of those days, you can still get it and enjoy it. It's a good-looking, good-tasting beer with real Michigan cherries. Sam Adams Cherry Wheat. You're not going to miss out on that.
And we
Okay,
back.
listen, and make sure we get some of the super chats going for sure.
And smash that like button.
Yeah, Pistons play tonight, 7 o'clock against Orlando. I'm sure not worried about it. I know some people are. J.B. Bickerstaff alluded to something interesting the other day, saying, this is not who we are. We've got to be back to who we are. They got to the line 38 times. That is who they are. They get to the line second most in the NBA. Only Orlando gets there more frequently than Detroit. So I think that is who they are. They just happen to miss some shots, right? And miss a lot of shots. Miss a lot of shots at the rim too, by the way. But defensively, I think that's the most important thing is the defensive aspect of it. If there's one area you want to see them grow tonight from game one, what would it be?
Just one? Can I have three?
No, you can't.
Can I have two?
No, you can only have one.
He tried.
I
respect
well, I
it.
mean, the hustle wasn't there for me. I do have to say that I think that they were disorganized for a large portion of that game. That happens when you fall behind. But there was just times where, Duran looked disengaged. He looked like he was playing in a different game, in a different time zone. There was a lot of guys that hit the floor and just couldn't find their continuity. But I think that this team is able to find themselves and set into that continuity very easily when they bring as much energy and hustle as possible. You didn't see that in the first quarter. You saw Suggs hustling and diving all over the place. You saw their whole team doing that for 4 quarters. You saw moments, maybe 2 full quarters of the Pistons really playing all out, leaving it all on the floor. When you expect a Pistons-Orlando matchup, you expect the Pistons to show more effort. And it was the opposite. To me, it wasn't about the free throws or anything else. It was about the energy that you brought to your home court with 60 wins in your pocket as the number 1 seed. You came out flat. And that's not Piston basketball.
Yeah, it probably goes in line with that, but I would say more than anything else, while people were talking and stressing the offense, I would say the defense. And the reason I say the defense is because, as I mentioned earlier in the week on Monday, Orlando shot 61% from 2. They shot almost 50% overall. They also had 11 offensive rebounds. That is not, when you say this is who we are, that's a good question. How do you define this team? Okay, if you had to use a word or you had to use one sentence.
Grit.
Okay.
I know people hate it, but they were gritless.
Yeah.
In game 1.
And that's it's true. I want the defense. I want the defense to come through. That's when I'm going to be watching tonight. While I'm there, is I'm going to be watching how active they are defensively. So that might go hand in hand with you in regarding the energy.
Yeah, the energy is going to go through all of that. They're going to rebound better. They're going to dive for loose balls better. They're going to switch on defense, which, to your point, Neil talked about it. They were bad defensively. They were bad on switches. That's probably why Asar didn't play 30 minutes, because he got caught in a couple bad switches. When you bring intensity, when you bring focused energy to a game, those things take care of themselves. That was my big knock on Duran. Like, I get they're not getting you the rock. Get the rock yourself. Show me 12, 15 rebounds. I think that you will see high energy and focused energy for 48 minutes.
And just so we're clear, You don't have to dive on the floor for loose balls to show energy.
For sure.
And show effort and hustle. There's plenty other ways to do that. That's just an example.
Yeah, the rust thing is cliche, but they looked rusty. They looked slow, and they didn't figure it out until the second quarter, and it was too late.
Kool-Aid, what's the one area you want to see?
It's along those same lines, and I use this one word in particular. It's urgency.
Yeah.
I wanted to see the Pistons look as desperate as they did to start the season and throughout this regular season, but they didn't look like that. They looked like they had arrived in the first in that first game,
point.
which was in different contrast to what Jalen Duren told me at All-Star break, that they're still the hunters and not the hunted. In that first game, they looked like they were the big dogs, and I think that this one helped them remind themselves, because in my opinion, get this right now. Not when you go up against a Boston, not when you go up against maybe a Cleveland. Get this out of your system right now. Get that urgency like this is the playoffs, and play like all of these teams are going to bring their best A game at you, because I know that that's something that some of the players talked about. Danis in particular, among a couple other players, said, we know there's no plays off, but we might have underestimated that effectively in this first one.
Pretty interesting last night. Philadelphia took it to Boston, which was pretty good. Edgecombe had
decades-old rivalry, man.
Edgecombe had 30 and 10.
He's pretty good.
He was pretty damn good for a 20-year-old. Pretty damn good. Portland was down 14 in the fourth and beat San Antonio by 3. Pretty impressive. Steve Henderson had 31. And the Lakers go up 2-0. I think they're the only team up 2-0
so far
in a series so far.
5 of the 8
beating Houston.
Top 4 seeds have lost a game at home so far.
Yeah. So how much of that? I don't care how New York is reacting. I don't care how Boston is reacting. But it does make me wonder a little bit if their panic button is pushed as hard as Detroit's. I think a lot of it depends on how you lose and when you lose. To lose the first game probably affects a fan base more than it would be.
They're in shambles, Shep.
Yeah. It would affect the fan base, I think, more than if you lost game 2 or game 3.
Yeah, I agree. But, I mean, to Kool-Aid's point, these guys coming in, feeling we're the number 1 seed, you're no better than a 5 seed right now. You lost your first game. You lost your home court advantage. So now that sense of urgency that you spoke to, that has to be seen tonight. It has to be felt tonight. And
you
whether
don't think home court advantage is that big, do you? You can't.
Well, for a team that hasn't won a playoff game at home in the last 2 years, no, I don't believe that it is.
I don't think it's big at all. I mean, look at all we got to do. All we have to do is look at the playoffs and what has taken place.
Yeah, we can't win at home, man.
No, I'm talking about the NBA. Get your mind off the Pistons for just a second, okay? The NBA, San Antonio lost at home.
Mm-hmm.
Boston lost at home. Mm-hmm. The Knicks lost at home.
Get better
okay?
soon, Wimby.
No, Denver lost at home against Minnesota. This is not. It's unique to Detroit because they've lost 11 straight home playoff games.
Parity is
I'm
surprising.
talking about the NBA in general. I'm talking about sports in general.
To your point,
we get caught up in.
You're right.
Oh my God, home court advantage. We got to have home court advantage. I would rather be at home than not because of the ancillary things, not because of fans. Sorry. But more because you're sleeping in your own bed. You know exactly where the training room is. You're not at a hotel where somebody's working on you in a back room rather than the training room. Those are the little things. I'm talking about, but if you look at all these other things that go on in the NBA and really in all sports, good teams can overcome that.
Yeah, to your point, the Thunder have an opportunity to sweep their first start of their home stretch with 2 games. Mm-hmm. It's only the Lakers and the Cavaliers that have done that otherwise. So 5 of these teams in the first round, the top 4 seeds, all split at home. And that's assuming the Pistons win tonight. So to your point, no, there's a lot more parity in the league right now than people want to admit. Yeah. Again, Orlando was a top 4 predicted seed in the East when we started. You look at the Rockets at 5, they were a top 2-3 guy that they were looking at. The Timberwolves at 6, another top 3-4 team. From the East to the West, I mean, the Hawks, if I'm a peasant right now, I'm terrified. Mm-hmm. I am terrified. You have one of the top 10 players in the league right now.
I'm sorry. Jalen Johnson.
Jalen Johnson's better than anybody on the Knicks. He's better than anybody on the Knicks at this point. And the way that those guys...
Jalen Brunson.
I do. Jalen Brunson can't defend anybody. He can't defend anybody. They took
that
it to
first game,
him
they
in that,
targeted him.
and they took it right at him, and he
1.77
couldn't stop
points a play.
anybody.
Yeah, just remember this. I mean, they won by 1. It's an impressive win. Don't get me wrong. They won by 1. New York had a chance at the last shot. New York blew a 12-point fourth quarter
Absolutely.
lead. Let's keep it all under control. It's like Kool-Aid said, Victor Wembanyama better come back. They built a 14-point fourth quarter lead
But
without
what I'm
him,
talking
by the
about
way.
here is the
so you got to hold on to that. You got to win that.
No, I was saying get well soon.
But remember, 76ers, no Paul George for what, 30 games?
Yeah.
You got no Embiid, another team that was considered a top 5 team.
Yeah.
You look on the other side. You got
I don't think they ever count on it, Joel Embiid. I mean, he's missed more games than he's ever played.
Some of these teams are drastically different than where they started.
You're right.
Season. Drastically.
Right. And Orlando's a great example of that.
The perfect
Orlando,
example.
Cleveland, Boston now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's to your point.
Boston
The home court advantage doesn't really. You don't need it in this first round. I feel like. I think that it becomes paramount when you get to the Eastern Conference Finals. When you get to the finals.
Okay. All right. And that might be a little selective for me. I mean, again, Detroit and New York last year. Detroit won 2 games in Madison Square Garden.
And none at home.
Right, and none at home. So
still,
it's
11
just
games in
to
a
me. I think we use that as I hope people use it as one of the reasons that you would favor a team. There's a reason Detroit's favored by double digits tonight. Okay, it's because I think they're a better team. Now, I had somebody tell me this morning, "Hey, you know what? Orlando's got the better team. They've got the better players." I'm like, more talent. More talent. That's what people say. I think a lot of Pistons fans are starting to feel that now, just because of one game. Now, am I going to debate them heavily if Detroit loses tonight? No, because it's really hard to do that. But I don't think Detroit's losing tonight.
Yeah, I mean the betting.
I respect the take.
The betting for me, like you look at New York were the favorites up until like the last month, and that's because you have all these degen peasant gamblers driving those stakes up.
Well, I think Boston was the favorite in the East.
I'm saying up until the last month. And that was like on Polymarket and Kalshi.
When Boston started getting all that hype.
But it's only because it wasn't because Vegas felt that way. It's because the bettors push it that way.
Gotcha.
Everybody looking at this game too in Detroit, nobody expects a number 1 seed to lay an egg both games at home. The fact of the matter is, I'm taking the points with Orlando all day. I made $36. I made $36 on my $20 bet for the Magic to win because I am an emotional hedger. We've talked about this. But no, this game is not the set it and forget it, like flat out we win that I think that it is, that a lot of us hope that it is. This team is perfectly built to bust our chops. They are big and nasty inside. They've got inside presences, but then they've got some guys that can just score at will in terms of Desmond Bane, in terms of obviously Paolo, and all the things that have worked so well for this team, the points in the paint, the lobs, things like that, they're taken away from this squad.
And they probably executed that better than any team this year because they recognize Detroit's weakness. Detroit's weakness is shooting threes, okay? Only one team, I think Sacramento, made fewer threes per game than Detroit. They know in order for J.B. Bickerstaff and the Pistons to win, they have to win inside out, outside in, but not at the three-point line. They're just not going to win a game that way. There's nobody who is, I don't want to say the pressure because there's pressure on, it's all self-induced, but the pressure or the expectations, how's that? On J.B. Bickerstaff, who should be Coach of the Year, but the expectations for him are massive tonight. Oh. And if it doesn't, there is a massive narrative around him if it doesn't come to fruition.
If they lose
tonight.
this series, how hot is his seat?
I think it's really hot.
Fans will turn it way
the
up.
seat is lava.
I don't think they're losing the series. I really don't. But
don't.
It's not just this. We got to remember, I mean, the expectations, this is why before the playoffs began, we all talked about what are your expectations. The expectations after winning 60 games and being the number 1 seed and doing it rather comfortably and looking as good as they did and having as many quality wins down the stretch as they did is the Eastern Conference Finals.
Shep, I got $25 on OKC versus Detroit in September. So my expectations are kind of being messed with right now, and it's because of that man right there. Not because of the team, not because Orlando might have more talent, not because we don't have a great second, point guard. I don't have the faith yet. Cleveland told us when they let him go, and then we saw it firsthand last year, but it's a young team that only won 14 games the year before. I'm sorry, when you can't win one game at home in the playoffs, that's the guy you look at, your head coach.
So why would you have more confidence in Jamal Mosley then?
I don't have more confidence in Jamal Mosley. My thing,
but he's the opposing coach, is my point.
Sure, and if he didn't win that game against Charlotte, he was going to get fired. I'm not comparing coaches. I don't care about Mosley. I don't care about Orlando. They're not going to get out of the second round if they somehow got past the Pistons.
No, I get it. But
I'm
they've
talking
lost
about
in the
this
first,
man.
Orlando's lost in the first round in each of his last 2 years.
They hadn't won a home road game in
Do you not think people in Orlando, if there are basketball fans in Orlando, because they're sure not as passionate as Detroit fans, do you think they're not saying the same thing about their coach, who just probably outcoached him in game one?
They are. The saving grace that he has is if he can take the Pistons 6-7 games. Well, Franz Wagner missed 50 games. Look how different we looked with Franz Wagner. This guy has no excuses. This guy's team was better without Cade Cunningham than they were with Cade Cunningham. And the fact that you get let go from a young upstart team like Cleveland, where you get thrust into this role and you take them pretty far, but you can't get it done in the playoffs. Now the narrative is set. He's not a playoff coach, just like Rick Carlisle wasn't a playoff coach in the early aught years. Now you go out and you surprise everybody. You go and you take 2 games from New York on their court, so you get the free pass. Now you come home, and again, 60 wins in your pocket, number 1 seed, and that wasn't a last-second loss. They owned us from start to finish. We never had the lead.
Yeah.
Yep. It was history for the Orlando Magic, and that's where I'm really looking forward to the Pistons being true to their words in this one. We've seen them a couple times this year lay some eggs, and they've aptly responded, except for that one little 4-game blip, and then they came back after that and said, you know what, we remembered who we are. And they said
every team is going to go through that.
Sure.
Yep, and that's why I look at this where some of the young players that they were relying on, some of the newer players that they were relying on, the comments they had to say were very, very interesting. Now, Cade, I'm glad that he looked ready from the start. I would like to see him throttle it that much more in terms of going to get his.
In the first.
Not
waiting for the fourth like Kobe.
Right.
We're not there yet. We ain't there yet as a team.
Yeah, because he was probing like he normally does, passing it to people. And I think Duncan Robinson from behind the arc and Jalen Duren lobs are the only 2 people that I want to give him permission to pass it to in the first 5 minutes.
Can I just give, and usually this is not me, this is usually you, since you and Cade share a blanket. I'm wondering if how much of a conscious effort it truly was for him to make sure others were getting involved. Instead of saying, I'm going to go get mine in the first, he can get his just about any time. I don't worry about that. I think he was more conscious of trying to get other people involved.
Yeah.
Because he knows that's what has to happen in order for them to win. And I truly believe that. I think he's that type of player. It's not his fault that Orlando posted 35 on them in the first quarter. Okay? If he doesn't go out and score 12 in the opening quarter, I don't care. I would rather have them limit Orlando to 19, 21 points or so.
Or just 25.
And Cade Cunningham have 4 assists in the opening quarter.
I would love that, but I do go back to last year, and he talked about this with Kevin Durant, where he said the difference for him between Game 1 and Game 2 in that New York Knicks series, where they lost the first game, won the second, he said he realized it demanded him to put that throttle just a little bit forward and change the complexity of the game.
But he did that. He did that in Game 1. You're talking about early.
Yeah.
He can do that at any time. I'm talking about getting his early in the first quarter. I'm not saying it's the right mindset. I'm just trying to stick up for him a little bit here. Maybe he's thinking, we're not winning any series if I don't get Duncan involved, if I don't get Duren involved, if I don't get other guys, Tobias Harris. Tobias Harris can't go 5 for 15. But for people to think that they don't need him to win, they're delusional. They do.
You have to have Toby.
I agree with you in certain senses, and I'm not saying from the not facilitate. He's such a great natural facilitator that I kind of want his mindset when he's coming off of a pick and roll to look for his shot first before he takes, sometimes in that first, you can notice he takes a little bit off his game by coming off and trying to make a play, when sometimes if he would have looked down the lane, he could have actually he could have just turned and went down the lane. Instead, he's coming out and passing it to Duncan or to Tobias. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I believe if that mindset he had in game 2 last year is, all right, let me go and get to my spots, I believe he'll make the right play. And maybe that's a little bit better. When I say go get his, I believe Cade Cunningham has the ability to dictate it to get anywhere on the court, even if they're packing in the paint. But I want him to be able to look for those and put himself in position to be able to get to those spots. Sometimes call for the 2-man game between he and Durn.
Yeah.
If we said this, if they put 4 men on Durn in the paint, the Pistons, he can just throw the ball behind you. Somebody will be there for the lob. And that's where I'm hoping we get a little bit more of that, where Cade's able to kind of dictate the tempo and set a tone early in this game. And where we do align a lot is we know this. If it's one of those games where Duncan Robinson hits 2 or 3 threes in that first quarter, that's a good night for the Detroit Pistons. And then from that standpoint, I definitely get at least a good start.
Yeah, I hope that is a trend.
Yeah.
Okay, guys could answer this a hell of a lot better than me. Just because a guy makes his first couple doesn't mean he's going to be red hot. Dennis Jenkins made his first.
Give me 3 made threes for Duncan before 3 fouls.
So here's what I'd love to see. I'd love to see him getting the looks.
It is his birthday.
Okay?
Happy birthday.
That's one thing. Getting the looks is completely different.
You saying
him.
Duncan?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When that means they're spreading the floor. What was their complaint the other day? Their complaint was they didn't spread the floor properly. Duncan Robinson said as much. We got to take a quick time out from Dr. Pierce and buddies, but after that, as Anson alluded, there's a lot of guys or a lot of teams right now that might be nervous too. They might be, biting their fingernails a little bit. The 1 through 4s, who's the one who might get upset? Give me one of them. Now that you've seen them in playoff action, we'll do that when we come back. After this, from Dr. Pierce.
I know
buddies.
who Nick is. Who Anson's. I just called you who Nick is going to pick.
You guys know about Michigan Sport and Spine. You guys know about Dr. Pierce. You see the number there. You see the QR code. Listen, if you need to get back in the game, whether you're just trying to get well and walk around right again, this is the guy, all right? He's got the secret sauce. He's got the trust of pro players like Braylon Edwards and DMAC. You can check him out at MichiganSportsAndSpine.com, 248-426-9944, or just show up tomorrow for the Braves Show from 2 to 4. He'll be joining us live here in studio.
Before I head down to LCA, I'm going to swing by Buddy's. It's right there on Woodward, and grab some pizza because it is so good and brings us to a happy place. You want to know what else is really happy? Monday the 27th, that's next Monday, Buddy's is, as usual, giving back to the community. Nobody's as good as they are. 50th annual Slice for Life fundraiser. If you dine in or if you pick up a carryout at anybody's location next Monday, 20% of the total sales is going to go to the Capuchin Soup Kitchen. They've raised over $4 million for the Capuchin Soup Kitchen since 1976. Amazing big hearts on the people who own Buddy's. You can also order their limited time veggie collection all month long, and they'll donate $1 for every item sold, and that's perfect for Sweet Potato Camp. Enjoy the meal and support and a great cause at Buddy's next Monday, April 27th.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original, world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
Fitness now has even more best-in-class strength equipment. Join today for $1 down and save.
We're stepping it up.
We're not slowing down.
Finding new faith, new focus.
Love that new equipment smell.
So, you in?
Join the club today. Save when you join for just $1 down, $15 a month. Planet Fitness. We're all strong on this planet.
Begin Injuries? Big news. Twice a week, Dr. Jeff Pierce from Michigan Sports and Spine joins Woodward Sports Network for the Injury Insider Report. Big D Energy Tuesdays at noon. Braylon Edwards and Shep Thursdays at 3:30. Get expert analysis and in-depth breakdowns on the latest sports injuries from the man trusted by top athletes in the community, like D-Mac. Whether it's the Lions, Pistons, Tigers, or Red Wings, Dr. Pierce talks us through it all. Don't miss the Injury Insider Report with Dr. Jeff Pierce, your go-to source for understanding the impact of injuries on the games and players we love. Only on Woodward Sports Network. Scan the QR code on the screen or go to MichiganSportsandSpine.com to see if Dr. Jeff Pierce can help you.
Why do we fight? We fight to protect the innocent, to hold the powerful accountable, to bring the oppressors to justice. Why do we fight? We fight to secure and preserve our civil liberties, to get each and every one of our clients the justice they deserve, and to make the lives of real people just like you whole again. ThenFights.com.
Find your sun with Sun Cruiser Vodka Iced Tea. Made with real iced tea and real vodka. Cold, refreshing, and made for moments like these all year long. Let the good times cruise with Sun Cruiser.
Come to any Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men and claim your throne for a king's treatment from one of our talented stylists. Open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Just get to a Lady Jane's today and receive a precision haircut, scalp massage, hot lather neck shave, and a hot towel treatment. A haircut should not be a chore. It should be an experience. And that's exactly what Lady Jane's has to offer. Open 7 days a week. Walk-ins are always welcome. There's always a location near you. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
It's game on at Art and Jake's. Wings, burgers, pizza, and ice-cold drinks served up with attention to detail. Wall-to-wall TVs, great service, and a vibe that keeps your crew coming back. Art and Jake's, a sports bar setting with a fine dining flavor.
You know how some things are so good they should be world famous, but they're not? Our house-made vinaigrette is one of those things. And the antipasto salad, we drizzle it over. Same with our hand-battered chicken tenders. Original recipe soups and pasta sauces. It's almost as if our original world-famous Detroit-style pizza is mocking them. And that's not very nice.
The Tigers are the best team in baseball. Get the best coverage in Detroit right here on Detroit's #1 sports network, Woodward Sports. Every Scooble start, every green homer, and all the action can be followed on all of our social media. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. It's World Series or bust, Detroit, and we are here for the ride. Woodward Sports.
The original home of the steak on the stone. You know I'm talking about Black Rock Bar and Grill, and now they've added 2 amazing weekly specials to their menu. Tasty Tuesdays for $13.99. That's it. You can get a feast on a half pound of ribs, coconut shrimp, and fries.
Come on.
$13.99.
What?
I know. And then Thursday, Sizzling Thursdays, you get a 6-ounce sirloin, shrimp scampi, and your choice of super salad, and a side for what, $40, $50? No, $19.99, guys.
What?
Absolutely crazy. They got 7 locations around Metro Detroit. Check them out at BlackRockRestaurants.com.
Sometimes I don't like work in the afternoon just because of these reads and the really good-looking pictures on the screen.
And the sun outside teasing us.
Well, no. Look, I love talking sports with people, but when we start talking about Black Rock and buddies, come on, man. I got to get something to eat.
Endless
right?
stomach over here.
Listen, anytime you go to Black Rock, you get a really clean atmosphere. When you come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, it is spotless in here. Right now, you can be sitting in a chair. You can be talking about basketball, football, baseball, whatever, because there's TV screens everywhere. Looking at Arvell Reese, it's all over Lady Jane's. That's not to mention the best haircut you can get for your money. They're open 7 days a week, walk in anytime. It is wicked awesome. And speaking of the NFL draft, of course, we've got the draft party tomorrow. All right, it's going to happen at the Massage Chair House in Bloomfield Hills. It's live tomorrow. Make sure you're there. We get on the air at 8 o'clock, but we'll be there much earlier, and we want you to be there with us. Tune in as we broadcast live. It's the largest massage chair showroom in the Midwest, and it's located in Bloomfield Hills. Check it out and have some fun with us.
We back.
There is, I just saw a scout on TV saying he's as sure about Fernando Mendoza as Drake May. And I was like, what? Say what?
I didn't know people were sure on Drake May. I thought,
alert.
Did Drake May go number 1 overall?
Yeah.
It's weird because I didn't know that everybody was so sure about him. I thought it was Catfish Caleb who was the generational QB.
The Jets, they've got, I didn't realize this, the Jets have 4 of the top 44 picks in the draft. They should be able to get pretty good pretty fast, don't you think?
Except for the Jets, Shep.
What's that, if they hit? Yeah, if
they're
they
still the Jets, Shep.
Yeah.
Just ask Matt.
Well, we got to ask Maz about everything, apparently.
Well,
at Woodward Sports.
Comes down to the Jets or Micah Parsons, yes.
It's unbelievable. I think I'm going to talk to Braylon Edwards about Micah Parsons. I think that might be a good idea.
In the Jets.
You've got 6 teams with multiple first-round picks.
Maz blasphemy.
6 teams.
Him and I just laugh at each other all show.
Yeah, we'll let you guys carry the laugh track the rest of the way. Here we go.
Well, we fought yesterday, so we had to make up to it.
It is a much better.
You prompted a lot of that fight, though, big brother.
I did?
Yeah, we were talking about it after you left too. We're like, that's like the big brother knowing exactly how to entangle the middle and youngest brother and get them at each other.
I'll say it was a good
That's
show.
what it felt like.
You know what? My kids used to do the same thing. The littlest kid used to say,
the way he
you
put
know
on
what?
his clothes, his coat,
Did you see the way he played dumb? He's like, what are you talking about?
The littlest kid used to blame the other kid all the time. That's an interesting take. You're driving home and you're saying that I really spurred it on, huh?
Well, you didn't quell it. I'll say that. You didn't squash it. You had a little heat.
Oh, I didn't realize that was my job.
It's not.
If it is my job moving forward, please tell me.
You filled your role. You played your
I'd
role.
let you guys go, is what I
Yeah,
did.
Oh, you fed it a little bit, and it was good radio, brother. It was good radio.
Okay.
But we got it. We got to love on each other today.
He was a good boxing referee.
Yeah,
it was perfect.
Yeah, there was no clutching and grabbing. I just let you
Fellas,
go.
keep
Stop
it
the
clean.
rabbit punches.
Let's
gentlemen.
have a good fight. I was like, let's rock.
We talked about the NBA playoffs and how many teams are, maybe surprised a little bit. Give me the one team, 1 through 4, who you think is primed to lose in a series.
Ooh. Hey.
The peasants!
Yep, there we go.
The fucking peasants, Shep. Come on, man.
Okay,
I wasn't
so
going
it's
to
the
drop an
Knicks.
F-bomb today, but I got to be honest, man. I all this talk about the Hawks, I'm like, dude, they're the Hawks. But then you start watching them sans Trae Young, the problem in Atlanta.
No longer on the all dysfunction list.
And I'm sorry, man, but you add in C.J. McCollum and then a guy that I was pounding the table for since last offseason and this the break, and now I'm blanking from his name, but Steve Kerr's favorite hated child in Golden State. What's his name?
Who?
The African kid.
Who's it? Jonathan
Kuminga.
Yeah.
Kuminga has a new lease on life in Atlanta. Low-key, they got a big 3 over there.
They got a nice squad.
And they play defense. They're heavy, hella scrappy. And I got to be honest, man, the Knicks just aren't deep. They got maybe the best starting 5 in the NBA, but after that, it is literally like watching that crew of Russian guys walking out of the fence like ready to fight, and they're all jacked up and not intimidating whatsoever. The Knicks can't win a 7-game series with the Hawks.
They can't?
No, they have to put them away in 5 or 6 games because I'm telling you, the Hawks have some depth.
This
and
goes
I just don't think that
deeper,
the Knicks can hang in a 7-game series. I am worried about them because I want to see them.
Kool-Aid, who's the between 1 and 4 that you think is prime for an upset?
Yeah, I gotta go with the Knicks as well.
Sorry, the who?
I'm sorry, the New York Peasants.
Thank you.
That's the team I got to go with. This is a squad that I think they put themselves a little bit on what I call the all dysfunction list, whereas the Hawks, they removed themselves by getting rid of Trae Young. And, hey, look at this. It's bountiful blessings all around for them. But for the New York Knicks, they went, and I believe they overreacted and got rid of their coach, just like I believe they overreacted when they went and invested as much as they did in Mikal Bridges. And then you linked your future success to Karl Anthony Towns as your next big investment in terms of acquisition for a player. They put a lot into this, and it looks like it's falling apart right in front of their eyes. And I do believe that type of pressure messes with you just a little bit each game that goes on in this series. And with the Hawks winning this one, I do believe it has the Knicks more on their heels.
That's weird. You know what's weird about this? What's really weird is that I could have sworn people kept telling me over and over and over again that playoff experience matters. And if that's the case, I'm wondering why would we think in New York when they played in the Eastern Conference Finals last year?
Because their core average age is 30.
Which is not old. 30's not old, so it doesn't matter.
In a 7-game series and in another 7-game series, when you're going up against 23, 24-year-olds, I think that it can make a little bit of difference. But their bench is shorter.
That is legitimate.
Yeah.
The age, I don't think matters a damn bit.
The bench is shorter than it was last year. They're not as deep. Yeah. And then you look at the coaching change, and it seemed like it was really good for the Dubai Cup or the Emirates Cup or whatever the hell they call that.
They should have raised the banner.
Non-banner raising
They should have raised the banner.
Yeah, there's a lot of problems over there. The other thing is they haven't changed what they do. Yeah. It's all Brunson. It's all predicated by Brunson. The script's out on how to stop the Knicks, and the Pistons produced it last year. So you look at this team, man, and they are not.
I wonder if people in New York are saying the same thing about Detroit. Well, the script is out on how to beat the Pistons.
Oh, they definitely are.
I was going to say, yeah.
But you know what I've been telling Peasants fans for a year?
Yeah.
New York Knicks 2026 rebuild downloading. Because it is right now. This is like what, your 29th rebuild in 53 years, Peasants? They know. In New York, they know. They know they're not going to the championship this year.
They're not
and you have to blow it up at this point. The problem is, you got what, one first-round pick through 32, I think? Maybe one flip. They might have 2 through 32. They have no capital left. They have no direction. And again, their core average age is 30. You have to make a decision with all those guys.
Yeah. No, it's an excellent point.
True that.
I originally thought New York, but you guys both took New York. I don't want to be, just a sheep and follow along. I would have been wrong going into the playoffs because if you would have asked me this question before it began, it would have been the Lakers.
Oh, yeah, the Rockets.
Okay.
I thought the Rockets were going to beat them.
Yeah, so the Lakers are a 4 seed. The Rockets are the 5. So you and I talked about this before the show, 1 through 4, so I couldn't take the Rockets.
Lakers are straight up surprising.
So the Lakers have surprised me. And then I thought, just for a fleeting moment, Minnesota. But when they're not very good with points in the paint. They're about 8th in the league, 8th in the conference in that regard. Denver had been rolling going in. Okay, they'd been one of the best teams in basketball. In fact, even with the loss, they've won 9 of their last 10. So that's a tough one. I don't know if there's a true answer outside of the Peasants. Then for any of us to really ask, unless San Antonio loses him for an extended period of time.
Have you ever seen anybody in the NBA hit their head on the ground as hard as he did?
Didn't he hit his jaw?
He's knocked out for at least 2 seconds.
2 or 3 times.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but didn't he? I thought he went like this and hit his jaw.
Looked like the side of his head.
Side of his head? Okay.
One of them looked like the jaw, like the first one looked like his jaw came down. The second one looked like it was the side of his head.
That's why I wonder, I know mouth guards aren't very comfortable. It's always blown my mind when hockey players or any athlete doesn't wear a mouth guard. It doesn't take much for you to get concussed these days, or at least for us to recognize concussion symptoms. Whether they put him back in the game or not is really up to the doctor on the sidelines. But because when you see this, and you see elbows, and you see the different things that are flailing around a lot of times in basketball games, I'm surprised there's not more of them.
This is the only risk in the Aliens' maybe GOAT future. Yeah. I was buying all his rookie cards when it came out.
Yeah, I want to see him get to all of the potential.
Well, and there were so many guys that were like, well, he's going to get hurt. He's going to get hurt. He's too thin. He's too thin. And you saw that from Durant some early in the first half of his career.
Yeah.
But he's been largely healthy since. You look right here in this photo. The way he sculpted his arms and his body.
Oh, yeah. He's a different player.
From 3 years ago, it's night and day.
Without
but at
question.
the same point, he's 7'6".
Yeah.
It's easy to go down if you lose your balance.
Yeah. That was
and I'm
a
going to
far
tell you right
fall.
now.
That's
this
a long
guy's-
fall.
This guy's becoming an absolute target. And if you're the Pistons or a team like them now, based on what the Pistons did to Jordan, there's going to be Wemby rules. There will be Wemby rules.
You're right.
All right?
If there aren't already.
Right,
he's a cheat
and
code.
I'm sorry, but you put a body on him. Rick Mahorn, you don't need 7'2". You need a badass.
Dude,
with a
if
big ass.
if there are rules for
Shout out to
SGA, they're gonna make rules for him.
100%.
Without question.
100%.
So it's a great point. And this is not AI enhanced, by the way.
I know.
Cam doesn't know how to use AI
all the
just yet.
physical play. No, actually, he's pretty good. All the physical play that the teams are going to bring him over the next 10 years, 15 years. How does his body hold up? Because if it holds up, we're talking the greatest of all time.
Yeah. Battle of attrition.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to be in the conversation. I don't know if I'll go so far just yet. I hate to tab people that after year 3, but he's sure doing stuff that not many people ever envisioned could do.
Jordan Cross with Wilt, man.
Yeah, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is really underrated. But anyway, when you look at things like this, when you look at a guy like that, and Kool-Aid just said it, I want to see him reach all of it. My immediate reaction
in a Pistons uniform
was no.
That's what
And the
I was
reason
supposed
I
to.
say that is because he's a guy who stands to the weight of Cade Cunningham.
100%.
Okay?
I used to watch.
And Braylon Edwards said this weeks ago. He said, that dude's going to win the MVP over and over again. Now, we probably thought the same thing about Shaquille O'Neal, and he didn't. But he's going to be your top 3 MVP nominee on a regular basis. And he's going to get there before the season begins, and he's got to play himself out of it instead of playing himself into it, where it means our guy has to play himself into it.
Or get injured and not be eligible.
Right.
100%. Yeah,
like Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, this kid in his first 2 years, I couldn't stop watching San Antonio Spurs basketball. Just watching his development, watching before he got hurt, watching him come back from the blood clot, all of that stuff. This year, I don't watch them, and it's because I fear them. I fear what this man means as a roadblock to one of the 3 best basketball teams we've ever had in Detroit. And they've got a great window. And sitting on the other side, knocking on it, staring on it, doing the on the window is Wemby. So I don't want anybody to get injured. I don't hate this guy the way I hated Jordan or LeBron or Bird.
Not yet. He hasn't done anything to your
He's
team.
in the Western Conference,
He hasn't
man.
done a thing to your team yet.
But I already know what he's going to do to our team. We're going to see this guy in a finals matchup. We will have a Cade Wemby finals. How it ends, I don't know.
Well, you hope
this
so.
guy terrifies me right now, and it's pushed me to the point where I have a hard time watching it because I know that man should be in red, white, and blue.
The beauty is that if they ever got to that final, Dennis Jenkins would take it right at him, and there would be no question whatsoever about.
Tony.
No, I would tell you, San Antonio. In order for San Antonio to do that, though, if they can keep Castle and Vassell and De'Aaron Fox and Wembanyama, that's a pretty damn good. And here's the secondary piece to all this. He's a guy who will make others want to play with him. I think players will go there just because
He cooled off.
just because they want to play with a dude like this. He's going to help him win rings, or he's going to help him get an opportunity to win
Perennial
rings.
contender.
That's the most important way.
And you know what?
Oh, you're back.
Who doesn't want to play with this guy? Free agency in San Antonio?
Yeah, I just said that while you went out on
Well,
a
I
pity
was
party.
sorry. All I heard was anus. Like,
You didn't.
Let me clear
You
my
didn't.
ears out.
It was Danish.
I know you said the D. I don't hear the D.
Yeah, I do think teams or players will want to do that.
I would want to play with him.
But
Everybody.
can I raise my question in the back of the room? Call on me, please.
Shep, what you got?
Thank you, Kim.
What about Cade Cunningham?
I think that you'll see
Why aren't
that,
we as confident about that?
I think you'll see that this summer. I think last year what they did, people didn't fully buy in.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't have a number 2 guy. Duran's your number 2 now, legitimately, even though he wasn't in game 1. But we know who he is. We know what we'll see from him tonight. Asar's
Prediction.
not standing in your way for usage. Okay, he's not going to stand in the way of Trey Murphy or anybody else that ends up here in Detroit. Listen, you can come in and you are going to get your shots, you're going to get your usage, and you're going to get it on the wing because your other big guy in that crew is down low. So what it can do for your future stats, for your value as a player, whether you're only here for 2 or 3 years, but you're going to get a legitimate shot at a championship with a top 5 player. He's just not 7'6".
Right. All I'm saying is I think players want to play with other great players.
Yeah. Well,
and want to get the opportunity to at least play
there's
for
more
a
to
ring.
that with Cade, though, that I want to add on here. I've
Go
talked
ahead.
about this with you all the time, Kool-Aid. This is the only modern player that I see all the vets stop what they're doing after a game to spend 3 to 5 minutes with Cade Cunningham.
Yeah.
Covering their
He has a lot
mouths.
of respect.
Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook, so many of these guys, Kawhi, Paul George, so many of these old school stars look at him. I mean, you hear the reverence that Shaquille O'Neal has, a guy who's as hard as anybody on these young guys. So I think that Cade has something a little bit different than a lot of these guys. Have you read the article about him approaching Jarrett Jack after the 14-win season?
I didn't.
It's a fantastic article. And he basically approached Jarrett Jack just talking about, I have to win. This team has to win. And then you saw it obviously take fold. He mirrors that, Wemby does, in his absolute disdain for all opponents and desire to be the best. I think we see a lot of that from Cade. I like your point. Both of these two guys are probably the most two desirable players to get paired up with. It's not Anthony Edwards.
It's not Anthony Edwards because he's a ball hog.
And
okay.
He's, yeah.
And I think players understand.
It's not
that,
Doncic.
Okay. I don't think it's Doncic.
It's not.
I think LA. It's probably more. It's LeBron. I don't think players want to play with him any longer.
Hell no.
I just hope that Tyler Hero listens to our words.
Oh goodness. That's a fit.
That's all.
Shep.
That's all.
Is he a free agent this summer?
He is. He's 27 years old and he's a free agent.
And he wouldn't have to be a real all-star here.
And he's not.
And by the way, he's an unrestricted free agent. He's an unrestricted free agent. You can go to the beach in the offseason.
Yeah.
Go ahead and go
I
to.
would absolutely bring him.
Can he coexist with Duncan Robinson now?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
Sure you
Duncan
can.
Robinson is on a
They already did it in Miami.
You could bring Duncan Robinson off the bench. You're not going to have Karis LeVert next year. You could bring Duncan Robinson off the bench.
Because he's not a starter.
And you'd have no problem with that.
He's not a starter.
Yeah,
We just need him as
right,
one.
so you would have no problem with that.
Absolutely
So suddenly you would
not.
have Cade
I would
Cunningham,
love it.
and you would have Asar Thompson, and you would have Tyler Hero, and you'd have Jalen Duren, and you would have, man I don't know yet. Because Tobias Harris probably won't be here too.
I don't know about that. I think Toby coming back on that vet minimum.
We'll see. We'll see.
As your seventh man, which would be fantastic.
Yeah.
Go get RJ Barrett.
Other people are higher on him than I am.
RJ. I wish we could.
How about Grimy over in
Go get
Philly this
RJ
year?
Barrett and Tyler Hero, and I'm happy man.
That would be
There's some shots going to be made.
That'd probably be one of the best off seasons, I guess, on paper in some time.
Yeah, especially if you don't have to trade
Find
picks to
me
go
a
get
better
somebody.
one.
Yeah.
And if you say Ben Gordon and Charlie Villanueva, I'm punching you in the kidney.
Don't get me
All
started,
right,
Shep.
let's get to some super chats and some comments.
My man said Danis Jenkins, Charlie V, and Ben Gordon all in the same show.
Yeah. And you only got up after one of them.
I know.
which
I
I'll
almost.
tell you something.
I gave you the look after the
Hey, well, look,
Charlie and
Anthony,
Ben though.
Maybe this will make you feel a little bit better. J. Rod Sayers with a $5 super chat. He's
Shout out,
number 2
J-Rod.
crown in the chat today. He says, late start today. So he says his best meal equals breaded pork chops, garlic parm cheesy potatoes, buttered carrots, garlic bread, and that chocolate chip cookie pie.
What's your
Not
address?
just the chocolate chip.
What's his address?
Can we all
The chocolate
go over there
chip
for
cookie
dinner?
pie.
For real.
Holy cow, that sounds
We
good.
could do a remote show tomorrow from
At
his
J-Rod's,
house.
yeah.
That sounds really good.
It does.
Yeah.
I remember he brought in that food last time.
And
I wouldn't even need a napkin. I would just go in there like a pig in slop. That sounds
Shep, a couple things tomorrow. First and foremost, a reminder: Massage Chair Warehouse.
Draft show.
Scott Bischoff joining Sean Baligian and the Golden Voice Neil Rule. Going to be an awesome time. Join us for that. But after the Pistons win tonight, you know what I'm bringing in tomorrow?
Tell me.
Some cards.
Hey.
I'm giving some good cards away. My inventory's pretty serious.
Wait a minute, we were just talking about food, and you're telling me cards. You had me
I'm
on
talking
the
about
edge
tomorrow.
You had me on the edge of my seat.
We're already going to his
because you were
to
thinking
J-Rod's
about
place.
food, and he goes, "I'm bringing
I
in
thought
cards."
it was
I'm
This
like,
isn't for
some
you,
salt.
Shep.
Who gives
This
a
is
crap?
for the chat.
Come on.
This is for the chat. They need to know where to go, and they need to know to be prepared with your super chats tomorrow because I'm back in my last day. Don't worry, you get Braylon back on Friday. But I'm going to put together some awesome cards for you guys. 3 different types to win tomorrow. You don't have to give us all your bank. Just come up with something cool to say.
Another mock draft out. They've got Fano, Mayoa, and then Proctor, in that order.
Yeah.
In terms of tackles being taken in the draft,
I'm saying Proctor
and
from
Proctor
every
going to Detroit.
single mock draft.
That's why I'm saying no to it.
Don't you think the Proctor thing is largely SEC Alabama recognition?
It might be.
And the fact
But
that
it's need, and he's a massive human being.
He is.
And he does play with an edge. The weight scares the living hell out of me. I mean, it looks like he's the kind of guy who looks at Lucky Charms and also gains 5 pounds without just looking at it.
Yeah.
You know
We
what I
got
mean?
a couple more super chats
Oh,
in here.
good.
We'll
Go
get
ahead.
before we wrap
Yeah.
up. Michael Wary, $5 super chat. He says, Shep, do you remember I said let Torque go?
Yep.
He says, well, look at this. Tigers might be reaching point of no return with Spencer Torkelson, and he wants your response.
Yeah, I think big problem is I think he swung at 33% of the first pitches a year ago, 13% this year. I wonder a little bit about his decision making, the confidence, and so on and so forth. You could have somebody to play first base. You want Colt Keith, that's fine, because he's pretty good against lefties. Colt Keith's better against lefties than Riley Green is, and I think he's a little bit better than Kevin McGonigal. I understand the angst. I would just say take a deep breath for a moment. I think he will start to warm up, but he hasn't been good enough. So I don't disagree with you. It's been an off and on again situation for Spencer Torkelson. 3 years ago, 31 and 94. You'll take that. Last year or 2 years ago, it was awful. Okay, I think he had 10 bombs and he was sent down to AAA to fix some things. Last year, 31 and 78 or so. You would probably take that. I just plead with people all the time instead of just looking at one guy. They need right-handed flip and power.
Yeah.
Okay, and you can blame him all you want, and that's fine. Okay, but I'm going to give you some names. I want you to tell me when you are happy with this guy: DeJesus, Anderson, Seabold, Maeda, Paddock, Morton, Cobb, Sewald. 8 pitchers I just named. All stink. Mm-hmm. And you're going to focus on one dude here because other guys can make up for the poor pitching. He's not good enough right now. That doesn't mean you get rid of him. You don't say a damn thing about all the decisions made on some of the pitchers that they've brought in. I gave you 8, and I could go on. I gave you 8 who are not good enough, including Drew Anderson. But good thing he got guys out in Korea. We'll be back tomorrow, 2 o'clock, here on the Braylon Edwards Show. Don't forget the heavyweights coming up, 5 o'clock. And do we not have a Pistons postgame
we
tonight?
certainly do.
We do.
All
we
right.
do.
Go
So
Pistons.
tap in, watch party,
Right.
post game.
Okay.
Everything.
All right after the game with Kool-Aid and a lot of other people. It could be Big Sean. It could be Little Sean. I don't know. There is a slight difference between the two. Have a great rest of your Wednesday. everybody.
Free Jaden Ivey.
Oh my God, shut up.
Looking for your daily sports fix? Look no further. Join Braylon Edwards, the University of Michigan legend.
Lofting it, right corner of the end zone for Braylon, up in the air. Touchdown, Michigan!
And Shep,
Do you believe this comeback?
your favorite sports commentator, as they tackle the hottest topics in the world of sports. Catch the Braylon Edwards Show with Shep, Monday through Friday from 2 to 4 p.m. on the Woodward Sports Network. Get ready to laugh, learn, and love sports like never before.